Hi, my name's Richard, and this is for those people that are thinking about moving to Qatar to work. If you're wanting to visit Qatar as a tourist, that's absolutely fine. Go and visit Souq Waqif. It's in the southern part of Doha, and that's absolutely great. But this is about living there and some of the things that you might want to consider. From my experience, I lived there from 2017 to 2019. Working and situated in Doha. So we'll cover a couple of subjects here: culture, safety, driving, healthcare, pay, entertainment, taxes, and that's it. Final taxes. Quick one on culture. 300,000 Qataris live in Qatar. Really nice people. They're really nice people, and then generally speaking, it's the Indian population is quite ginormous. They're really nice people as well. And then from a size perspective, it's then the Filipinos. They're really nice people as well. And then we get the Western culture where it's American, English, UK, Germany, and Europe, and all that good stuff, which is the lowest number. They tend to be professionals and things like that in nursing and things like that. You'll have the culture. The culture is a real melting pot, and generally speaking, everybody's happy. I know there's going to be comments in there about maids being beaten. I never saw any evidence of that, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but that's a different subject, and that's not what we're here for. But whatever. Okay, let's talk about safety. Qatar was voted number 2, when I was there, number 2 as the safest place to live. And it's true. It's absolutely true. You can walk around, a man or a woman can walk around at 3 o'clock in the morning and not feel threatened. Not at all. You can go up to someone at 3 o'clock in the morning and ask for directions, or just talk to them or whatever, and everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. It's absolutely bizarre. It's one of the safest places in the world. It's a lovely place to live from a safety perspective, and it's well worth living there from a safety perspective. Enough said on that subject. Accommodation. When you arrive in Qatar, you'll have to go to a hotel because you won't have a residency permit. The residency permit usually takes something like 2 to 4 weeks to come through, and then you can start looking for accommodation. I stayed in a hotel, the Esdan Hotel in West Bay, for about 3 months. It's not the greatest place, but at least it was okay. Just in case I didn't like my job, and then I could quickly exit out of the country without having the commitment of an apartment around my neck. Fortunately, the job was fine, so I decided to go and get an apartment. Most of my colleagues were living on the Pearl, where the rent is sort of 15,000 to 20,000 Rial a month, and that's 15,000, 20,000, that's 3,000, 4,000 pound rent a month, and I didn't want to do that. So I found my place in Oneza, which is between West Bay and the Pearl. Lovely place to live. It was a little apartment, really nice, and that cost me 6,000 Rial for the first year a month, and for the second year it came down to 5,000 Rial. Never had any problems. Everything worked okay. There were no issues. It was a great apartment, and it wasn't far from West Bay. So there we go. The electricity and water and that is usually included in the rent. You do have to pay a deposit, but you can negotiate on the amount of deposit that you pay. Do negotiate on the deposit, and generally speaking, the agency that manages the rent for the apartment will negotiate with you. Driving. Owning a car is easy as long as you can get a driving license, and it's generally easy to get a driving license. So owning a car is easy. There's a lot of people that say small cars are not a good thing, and that you get bullied by the larger cars. I never found that at all. I had a VW Golf, and it's not a particularly big car, and that were fine. I had the Golf when I was waiting for my residency permit, and when I got my residency permit, I then found out that I couldn't have a driving license for a car because I didn't have a degree. So I used to say, hang on a second, I've got my pilot's license. Are you telling me that I have to catch a taxi from where I am, my apartment, let's say, to Hamad Airport, go through Hamad Airport, getting an aeroplane and take off in an aeroplane? Yeah. But I can't drive a car. And the policeman, you always used to say, and the lovely people, he used to look up in the sky, and he used to think about this, and he used to say, yes, computer says no. So, in the designation that I had, I could only have a motorcycle license, which was great. So I had a motorcycle and used to motorcycle to work. Unless it was exceptionally hot, where I'd then get a taxi. So the laws are a bit bizarre. The laws can be a little bizarre. If you ever have an accident and it's not your fault, get your smartphone out, record a video of the person admitting their fault. I had an accident on the motorbike, nothing serious, don't worry. And I ended up going up to the police station, which you have to do when you have an accident. And there's me and the other guy, who was an Egyptian, an Arabic speaker, talking to an Arabic police officer. And the Arabic police officer just turned to me and he said, "It's your fault." And I said, "Oh, how did you come to that? How did you come to that decision that it's my fault?" And he said, no, your fault. So I then pulled my phone out and showed him this video. And he went, and then he just changed his mind, pointed to this Egyptian guy, and he went, "It's your fault." This is the madness, yeah. This is the madness. So just be careful, yeah. Oh, by the way, there's an urban myth that if you have an accident with a Qatari, it's always your fault, regardless of whatever the situation is. It's always your fault. I've never seen it, I've never experienced it, but apparently it's a bit of maybe it's an urban myth. I don't know. Healthcare. Make sure that the sponsor that you're working with gives you good healthcare. If you can get dental care, fantastic, because dental care is expensive over there. I didn't have dental care, but didn't need much treatment. And, it is expensive. Make sure you've got good healthcare. Pay. When you arrive in Qatar, your sponsor will give you a letter, a document, and you'll go to a bank, which they tell you to go to, whichever bank it is, and you'll present that document, and then the bank will open an account for you. Your pay will go into that bank account. Every month you get paid, you will have some money removed from your pay, which ultimately equates to a month's pay over the year. And ultimately, when you leave the employment of that sponsor, you will then be given that lump sum of how much you've accumulated over the years and part years as a lump sum for when you leave. So if that's the case and you leave the country, you walk out with a lump sum. If you leave that sponsor and go and get another sponsor in Qatar, you will get that lump sum, and then you will start the process again with your new sponsor. Yeah? So it'll start accumulating with that new sponsor as well. Just be aware of that. Getting loans is very easy, far too easy. Yeah, far too easy. I've seen people getting loans for 100,000 Riyal, 150,000 Riyal, and getting crazy massive Range Rovers and all that kind of rubbish. And it's just bizarre. Anyway, it is easy to get a loan. Yeah. So, whatever. Entertainment, plenty of bars. The beer is expensive, the food is great. The food is not particularly expensive, but the beer is very expensive. There are two types of guys that leave Qatar: those with money and those without money. and those without money tend to spend most of the time in the bars, partying it up, getting extracurricular entertainment. Yeah, and you know, it's just the money you can spend is absolutely phenomenal. So if you're going out drinking every night, you know, the pay that you get in, which is 3 or 4 times greater than where you would normally get in your home country, you can easily drain that off into the beer that you drink and all that kind of stuff. But the places are great. The places are safe. When you go in, you'll have to show your passport if you haven't got a residency card, or you'll show your residency card and they'll scan it. Just don't worry about that. Don't get paranoid about it. No one's watching you. The technology over there is so bad that no one can figure anything out. Anyway, that's another subject. Don't get too drunk in the street. Don't get drunk. I've seen people being drunk and shouting and blah blah blah, and within minutes the police pick them up and they're taken away, and then you'll spend a couple of nights in the local jail and then you'll be released. Don't get drunk in the street. Yeah, it's just not worth it. Just not worth it. Finally, taxis. Always use Uber. That's the end of the subject. That's not the end of the subject, but always use Uber. In the local taxis, they are usually like a turquoise colour. They have a meter in the front of the car. Often they put a piece of tape over the bit on the meter that shows how much you're going to pay. If you do get in one of those taxis, make sure there is no tape over the meter. Yeah, a bit of tape. On many occasions I've taken a journey from A to B and it should cost 10 rial and they've tried to charge me 50 rial, and then you end up in an argument with the with the taxi driver, and then you end up threatening them and things like that, and then you end up calling the police. You don't want to do that. The easiest thing to do is just get an Uber. It's so easy. If you've got any more questions, just leave them in the comments below and I'll try to get back to you. If you get the opportunity to work in Qatar by yourself or with your family, go for it. Go for it. It's a great experience, whether you're staying there for a year or 5 years. It's a great experience. The people out there are always smiling and everybody seems to be happy. I'm not saying that that's, you know, everybody's 100% happy, but go and try it out, you know. I mean, the only problem I had was in Ramadan when all the shops were shut, except for when they were open in the evening. So that's tough. You can't smoke, you can't drink, So the best thing to do with Ramadan is to go on holiday for a month and leave everybody to do what they do in Ramadan. You know, it is what it is. You know, go somewhere for a holiday for 4 weeks and let Ramadan run its course. I hope you found this useful. Any questions, drop them below in the comments and I'll try to respond as soon as possible. Thanks for watching this. Bye bye.